And we're live. Roll up, everybody. Everybody, as Sean Kuti says, roll up, everybody. One man went to know a different topic this time around, a deviation from what we traditionally do on here. Roll up, Gava, come join. Just before we get into the topic for today, I wanted to mention, just to really grow the channel, if you can be posting it on your social media platforms, especially the times that we're scheduled to have the sessions, so that would help to get more people in. So we are kicking off with a story that we tackled a few days ago regarding some person that went to a wedding. She was the bridesmaid at that wedding, but then of course what she did at that wedding made her now the topic of discussion for that wedding. So a cardinal sin amongst the sisterhood, because it's unheard of that you go to a wedding and try and outdo the bride, but I don't take my word for it. See what this lady did before we get into the narration of the backlash that she's getting. So you are looking out for the, anyway, I won't tell you who you are looking out for, but as soon as you see her, you will know exactly who you are looking out for. So So what you are looking out for is the lady dressed in green. She's a bridesmaid at obviously the bride's wedding, the lady dressed in white. But then of course you can see how she's dressed and you can see how she's behaving. So a lot of backlash to this. And this has been covered on this channel and of course it's a viral video on social media. So I'll give you a bit more of a flavor of it and then we'll get into the sort of backlash that she's now getting to this performance that she has put up. So there you saw it. That's the lady, the one in green. Actually, there are two of them. If you look at the lady, I'm just going to mute the voice, the sound, so that you can... So if you look at the lady in green, that is barely clothed, and then if you look at the lady behind her, who is even less clothed, these are the people now that have stolen the show for this bride's wedding. So quite why this was permitted and quite why they did this, we discussed this at length in a previous video, but the backlash to this continues to come thick and fast. And one of the leading pastors within the Nigerian space has now come out to take a position in this regard. So, guys, I bring you this. Clergyman Kingsley Okonkwo tackles bridesmaid who took center stage at her friend's wedding with her boobs revealing clothes. So, clergyman Kingsley Okonkwo is the person now that cannot hold it back, and he has now gone onto the public space to take a position as, again, clergyman Kingsley Okonkwo tackles bridesmaid who took center stage at her friend's wedding with her boobs revealing dress. So now let's now see now what the preacher man has to say. Clergyman Kingsley Okonkwo has reacted to the viral video of a bridesmaid who took center stage at her friend's wedding with her boobs revealing dress. The video made the rounds on social media last week. The pastor in his post tackled the bride, the bridesmaid, the man who sprayed the boobs revealing bridesmaid, as well as the elders at the event. So this is how the pastor has positioned himself, and this is what his post has to say. So read his post below. So no disrespect to the parties involved. This is purely for teaching purposes. So these are my opinions. So these are the pastor's words now. These are my opinion. Be free to have yours. as an elder, I feel I should address those who want to learn. So he takes it, he goes through all of the participants, all the protagonists within all the actors within the scene, and he addresses them one by one. So to the bride, why are you keeping a friend that doesn't look like she's on the same page as you? Most of the other girls are decently dressed. So that's the first point that is addressing to the bride. Second point, even if she is your friend, does she have to be on your train? So, of course, you should know your friend and then not have invited her to be part of that particular event. Not that event, but so much that act within the event is essentially what he's saying there. When she arrived half naked, you could have benched her, which is exactly some of the things that we highlighted when we tackled this as a standalone topic. And then finally to the bride, she was not only half naked, but was dancing with intention. For me, the wrong intention. So that is his comment to the bride. And then he goes on to address the bridesmaid. So to the half naked friend is how he has chosen to address her. And these are his words for her. There is something called decency, learn it. So that is the first lesson to her. And then he goes on to say, there is social maturity, allow people to shine on their day and don't divert attention, even when you can, respect people's feelings. So that is one of the things that we highlighted and harped on about, especially myself, of course, at that occasion, when rather we addressed that as a topic. So so that is the pastor's recommendation, and let me bear with me. And then so that is his recommendation to the half-naked friend, as he has chosen to address her. And then to the man spraying the money, this is what he has to say. Can we keep lust and foolishness till after the wedding? So of course, he is indicating that the man spraying the half-naked woman with the big boobs is doing that with intent, and that intent he has given the coloration of lust. So can we keep lust and foolishness till after the wedding is his first recommendation. Even if she was your girlfriend, wife, or sister, the timing was wrong. So that is what he has to say to the guy spraying the money. And then he goes on to address the older people at the event. To the parents and elders at the event, hope one of you corrected the friend and corrected the situation. So that is what he's addressing to them, the elder ones. And then he goes on to say, keeping quiet at such means approval, and more people will think that it is okay. So that is what he has to say to the grown-ups there. And to the cameraman, this is what he has to say. Don't be silly, stay focused if you still want your balance. Well, no, who can blame the cameraman? You always pan the camera to the most interesting part of our event, isn't it? So the cameraman did exactly his job. And then he rounds off to me and my IG farm. So this IG farm now, so this is some funky preacher if he's already addressing people as a IG farm. So funky preacher, to me and my IG farm, what concerns us in this matter? Well, good behavior is fast becoming a thing of the past. Let's preserve the small sense still left. Nigeria has lost so much. Let's help where we can. So Nigeria has lost so much. Let's help where we can. Forthright, I see you. What says you?
Hi everyone. Hi, one man.
Hello, how are you? You'll be thinking that I am laboring this pointer too much, that this woman twice now.
Well, I think I've had a closer look at the video. For one thing, she's not half naked. She's just almost topless. And then the other lady that you said is half naked as well. Like I mentioned the last time, she's wearing a sheer material. So even her shoulder is not actually bare. So up to her sleeve and her midriff is all sheer material. and then they did that kind of mermaid thing with her boobs to cover up her boobs. So it's not her skin you're saying. You're not seeing her
Yes.
skin. You're seeing the sheer material.
Right.
Anyways,
But the
I'm
point
sort of,
still to the pastor, what this preacher man is saying that you know, that essentially leave the occasion to the celebrant is really what he seems to be saying, and don't try and constitute a nuisance and be, you know, attention seeking at somebody else's thing.
well, absolutely, but you always have people like that. That's the thing. It's not even what she's wearing that's the problem. It's the fact that she's almost pushing the bride off the center stage. That's
Yes.
the issue.
I mean, everything that she's done, everything that she did at that space is just completely wrong, isn't it? The clothing is inappropriate, and then the way, like you said, that she's trying to force herself to the forefront is even worse. I'm not even sure what is more offensive, the way she's, because she's almost now ahead of the bride at some
that's what I'm saying.
instances.
She's almost pushing the bride off the center stage. Like I said, people
look at if you take it from the back, you see that she almost ran. Let's take it from
to the front.
You see, she almost ran. Look, here she comes. Look at speed. Look. So yeah. So, but the pastor is also lambasting the grown-ups at the event to say that they should have taken a stance as well. What says you? Do you think it's right to say that?
Well, I don't even know why the pastor is wasting his breath on this.
Well, he just wanted to tap into the viral video, but then
he shouldn't. He shouldn't. I'm going to be questioning him as well. He doesn't have much to do, right? He's got no more prayer points, right?
Look, this is where the church is now. He's trying to gather following when he's addressing a church, a pastor, a pastor that is addressing people as IG fans. So that already tells you that it's some sort of like a funky preacher, and is looking for that generation internet sort of you know, the yuppies and the
He's run out of prayer points. Nigeria's got a lot of things that he could be praying about, and a lot of homeless children he could be catering for. So I'm amazed that he's got time to be viewing videos and you know, commenting on videos on social media. It wonders, you know, you just wonder what does he do with his time?
Yeah. Is it a name that is familiar to you? I mean, Kingsley Okonkwo, his name is this pastor.
No, I'm not aware with the Nigerian scene, to be honest.
Okay. Just whilst you're there, because we're going on next to the Babaijesha narrative. So I'm sure you're aware of it, but do you have a position on it? What do you make of the Babaijesha narrative?
Oh my goodness, I could go on forever.
Is it something you're following? Just for the purposes of...
I followed it only because it was in my face, and
oh, yes, you couldn't avoid it, could you? There's no avoiding it. It's everywhere.
But I've worked in the education system for a long time. When I first heard about the case, it was
just for the purposes of the people who might not be aware of what you're talking about. Can you just give us a brief summary of the situation up to this point? Because, like you said, it's all over the media space. But for the benefit of people who might not be up to speed with that. So Babaijesha was an actor, a comedian. Especially in Nollywood, especially towards the Yoruba movies. And then this is just me summarizing, and correct me if I'm getting it wrong. And then he was friendly with some person who had like a daughter, and he has been inappropriate with that daughter from the age of 7. So not his daughter, but his friend's daughter, to the point now that suspicions were raised and CCTV cameras were set up. And then, of course, that CCTV camera caught this guy now in the act of being inappropriate with that girl that was now 14. So it started with that from the age of 7 up to the age of 14. So a good you know, half of her life he has been inappropriate with her, at least as far as is publicly known. So he was caught on CCTV doing this, to the point now that he's in police custody. And then, of course, now this seems to have thrown Nigerians into a moral maze, especially the Yoruba Nollywood set, with some of them almost alarmingly coming out to defend his position, but the rest of them, people like Tonto Dike and the rest of them, Iyabo Ojo, etc., asking that he rots in jail. So would you say that was sorry, the summation of is that a good summation of it, or?
I'm going to tweak it a bit, and
okay, go on.
Because the mother of the child, she's an adopted, she adopted the girl. She came out to correct.
Right. Oh.
Yes. So she does not have children of her own. So she has 6 children that she's adopted. And this is not legal adoption. This is, in the cultural way.
Yeah.
She's well-to-do. The parents.
Is that the one they call princess? Is that the princess?
Exactly. So all these children were, people that she knew who couldn't take care of the children. And since she has the means, so culturally she adopted the children. So she came out to correct the notion that the child was being molested continuously for 7 years. That's not what happened. According to her, the molestation happened when the girl was 7 years old, and Babaijesha did not have access to the child for the following 7 years. What happened was the girl's behavior declined. Her schoolwork and achievements and progress in school declined, and over those 7 years, they've had issues with her behavior, inappropriate behavior with other children, and she's always been concerned, so much so that they've held prayer sessions, and some people said it's the spiritual
of course.
stuff. Anyway, so the point is, it's not like the girl was molested continuously for 7 years. So it's eventually, now at age 14, after much talk, the girl now explained what had happened. So in her bid to now have some sort of evidence, she now set up this whole thing, the CCTV, and used the girl as bait. That's what happened.
No, first on that point, because I noticed you emphasized the word bait. So
yes.
So do you have thoughts on that? That the girl was yeah, gone.
Yes, I do. As I said, I've worked with children for decades. First and foremost, let me just say this to parents. You don't owe anybody any explanation. You don't have to prove anything to anybody. Okay, if the evidence wasn't there to begin with, you cannot put your child, who according to you said was so much traumatized that academically she declined, her behavior declined, so much that you had so much concern for her, and then place her in the same room as her molester. What you've done is you've abused her over again.
Even to gather evidence?
No, you may not do that. You may not do that. You're traumatizing her all over again. If that was my child, there's no way I'm going to be in the same vicinity as Babaijesha ever again. Ever. Your responsibility as a parent is not to find justice, is to protect your child. That is your first and foremost responsibility. In this instance, she didn't continuously, molest her. It happened 7 years ago. What you should be doing is to help her with some therapy to get and heal from this experience. And I don't think anybody ever heals from such experience. I've never been through it.
Yes,
so
somebody was saying, forthright, somebody was saying, because of course this is something that has gripped the entirety of the Nigerian space, and this is what is being discussed on social media. Somebody was saying that all of these women that you see on Allen Avenue and places like that, you know what I mean by that, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, all these girls that you see on Allen Avenue. Oh, I think I have a delivery. Thank you. Cheers. So all these people that you see on Allen Avenue and places like that, they are saying they are effectively products of this sort of like a traumatic experience, to the point that even their biological parent might even be people carrying out these activities, and especially in instances where somebody has left a relationship and remarried, that this sort of a thing, you know, is fairly commonplace. So, so speak to that as you carry on, forthright.
Okay. Molestation generally cuts across race. It is not specific to Nigeria. It happens all over the world. And let me put it out there, if you're a single mother, pedophiles are drawn to you like ants are drawn to sugar, because that is the only way they can have free access to the children. The people who are molest children the most are family members. Yes, biological fathers sexually assault their own daughters. We've heard that one, was it in Germany or so, where the father actually abducted his own daughter?
Yeah, that happens quite frequently in
Exactly.
Europe.
So
yeah,
it's people who have access to the child. So their own fathers, stepfathers, uncles, and through to the driver, the workers, people who work with you, who have direct access to the child. And then
but
up, down, out to the
how far?
community.
Yes,
Teachers have access to children.
yes, that's where I was going. Because we're really speaking to we're speaking children in general, but we're really speaking to the girl child this time around. But how far and how much can you actually protect your daughter from the world? Because of course, I have a daughter, you know, and there's a reluctance to even have people carry her, you know. And really, it's because of this this understanding now that we're having of that the intentions of people might not be altogether as altruistic as we would imagine it to be. So how far do you protect that child? And as you said, it gets to that point when they start to go to play schools and then etc. etc. It gets to that point where they're outside of your guardians, and then of course they're in society. So what should be done, and you know, what sort level of protection can you actually give your child? Speaking especially to the girl child.
Well, you can only take measures. You know, you can take informed measures. So in Western society, in the UK, for instance, safeguarding is a big thing. Okay, and then the children are being educated as to say no one is allowed to touch your panties, for instance. They actually deliberately say that. And they now use the words that the body part means. So they don't try to hide things anymore, because all these pedophiles will groom children and like trick them and say they're playing a game and things like that. So children are now taught it doesn't matter what the game is. Nobody's allowed to touch you in any, you know, in that kind of way. So that's one way educating your child, no matter how small you think they are. And like you have done, nobody's allowed to carry and put her on their laps. I'm a single parent and I have male children. This is how far I have gone to protect my children. I've never dated anyone who has babysat my children. I've never allowed any man babysit my children outside of them being with their biological children. That is the kind of sacrifice I have chosen to make. Yes, I'm putting my life on hold because I have a responsibility as a mother first. When I decided to have children, that is me sacrifice. You have to make that conscious decision. Your life is not your own anymore. When my children become 18 years old, then I'm free. So if you're not ready to be a parent, if you're not ready to sacrifice, then don't go that way. Don't go that way.
Do you also think, because we have to strike a balance, you see, forthright. So how much is been too much, and how far is overprotectiveness? And where is that balance? Because I'm saying, where is that balance? Like I said, I am of a reluctance to hand, you know, let's say, for instance, an uncle that you've known all your life, but you don't really know, do you really? Because they say it is people that you least expect that would be off that way. So I, for instance, I would be reluctant to hand my daughter to a male, especially. Of course, women can abuse too, but more so a male, especially, to even to carry her and hug her. But then, of course, that is what people do when they see babies. They want to hold them and hug them and tweak their cheeks and, you know, do that goo goo gaga. You know, so where is the balance?
Yeah, unfortunately, that's the world in which we found ourselves, you see. There's another thing in the UK called self-guarding. So even you as an adult, you don't want to put yourself in a position where a child will accuse you of molesting.
Yes. Yeah, I don't carry people's children. I don't.
Exactly.
You know?
So what are the chances that
the mom can be holding her, and the least I'll do is just, you know that cheek pinch, where you just pull the cheek and say, "Oh, cute baby," and that's it. You know, even if I go that far.
Exactly. So imagine if I had girl children, oh my goodness, I would be known to be a crazy woman, because this is what I'm going to do. No friend can come into my house if I'm not there. If you arrive at my property before me, I will tell you to wait in the car. Don't go into my house, especially if you're a male. That is how far I am willing to go. And that's
but do you not think you are de-skilling the children and creating an unnecessary phobia and mistrust? Do you not think that is robbing them of their is that not robbing them of their innocence a little bit and making them too cynical too soon?
Well, I said friends. I didn't say family. Okay, so we can't always protect children. Like I said, you can only take certain measures. So I'm not going to say that of my siblings who come to visit me. But when it comes to friend, I want you to understand it. I will not spare you. Not that I will spare my own brother. As a matter of fact, when I watched the confession of Babaijesha, I was thinking, how come his upper jaw is still connected to his lower jaw? No, that's me. I know what I'm going to do. I'm not going to be thinking about the law in that instance. I'm not going to be thinking about the law. He's not. Seriously, those people, those men in the background will be protecting him from me. That's the truth. And because I know who I am, I'd rather not have that scenario. That's just me. You can imagine in that video, it was almost like he was smiling.
Well, what his trousers half down as well in that video. And by the way, that princess,
because he was getting ready for the real action.
Yes, that princess is already taken to law against Punch newspaper that released the video. She's already taken to law because she said that she did not want the video out in the public space. I think she's actually getting the backlash off the back of what you said in your opening statements, that her first instinct should have been to protect that child rather than gather evidence and put her in harm's way again. So I think she's getting that backlash, and she's now taken to law to say that she did not want that video in public space, and she's actually suing one of the leading newspapers in Nigeria.
Well, do you know the first thing that she did? The first mistake she made. Actually, maybe that's the only mistake she made. Like I said, that's why I said you don't owe people an explanation. So when the first allegation came out and Babaijesha's name was mentioned, the focus was on Babaijesha. And of course, people will have questions. People would ask, where's the mother? Where was the mother in this situation? And all that kind of stuff. That is bound to happen. And sometimes I say to people, how come people always even talking about the mother? Where's the father in this situation?
Yeah, where is the mother though? Where is the mother? If you're saying she's an adopted child, what is the biological mother and what is her position on this matter?
Oh, well, that's another matter entirely. So So, like I was saying, where she made a mistake was when she then came out to explain that that was not the way it happened. It's not like Babaijesha was molesting the child for 7 years. And she made her own identity public. You automatically make the child's identity public. So you were trying to protect your own face at the detriment of protecting the child. You didn't have to do that.
Is she a public figure, this woman? Is she part of that Nollywood set? Okay.
Yes, she is. So maybe in the Nollywood set, they knew who she was, but someone like me did not know who she was. You understand? But now everybody would want to know who the girl is. And the kind of mindset we have in Nigeria is such that even the girl's friends will now start to annihilate themselves from her because the girl's parents' friends will start to say, oh no, you know,
she'll have to change schools. Yeah, she'll have to change schools.
You made her public. You made her public. Now you've exposed her to a whole lot of things. It was bad enough that she had gone through that situation. Now you are abusing her all over again. So much so that somebody in the Nollywood industry said, oh, but the girl is Babaijesha's girlfriend. I'm thinking, can you imagine the mindset
and this idea of you know, these uncles and whatnot that they will jokingly saying my wife to a friend to children, you know, is it time now that we revisited that language, innocent or not, and remove it from our lexicon? That she's not your wife. She's young enough to be your granddaughter. She's not your wife. You know, even in the jocular manner.
Absolutely. It's one of those things we have to review, like you're saying now, review it and say, no, we're not doing that again. And with the, you know, sitting a child on your lap, unfortunately, you can't do that again.
But that's a tragedy though, isn't it, really? I mean, I understand why, but it is rather tragic because in a good 80%, I'd like to imagine of instances, it's just innocent and loving, but then of course, instances like Babaijesha like this. Danny, we see you. What says you? Introduce yourself and tell us where you stand in this on this matter. Danny? Hello, Danny.
Yeah, what man? How are you? Yeah, I'm here. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm well. Are you following the conversation?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm coming from Colorado.
Oh, brilliant.
Yeah,
we're tackling the Babaijesha matter, and we're just trying to see how it sets within.
I just joined a couple of minutes ago.
Yeah. Are you aware of the story? You would be, because it's all over the Nigerian media space.
Well, I saw that. Yes, I saw the story. I saw it a couple of days ago, and I saw a little bit of this. What do you call that? The video.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw the video. It's really sad, you know. I don't know. I don't know when this kind of thing started in Nigeria. I don't know.
But it has always been the case, though. This abusing of. I said it has always been the case, though. It's just now that our society is looking to address it. There was never a time that this wasn't going on. But were you shocked and surprised? Is that what you're saying, or Danny?
Yes, I was. When I first saw it, I was kind of. No, I was. What surprised me was this actor. What is he? This guy, is he an actor?
He's an actor. He's a Yoruba movie comedian. He's well known.
Yeah, I don't know. In this day and age, when cameras everywhere, what is wrong with that guy? He should know better.
He was in a private quarters with the child, so he had no anticipation that CCTV was set up in that space, because the guardian of that child, who effectively was the parent, she had become aware that this had been going on, and then she wanted to catch him red-handed. Forthright is frowning at the idea that the girl was used as bait, but the woman felt that she needed actual factual evidence in order to nail this guy. But then, of course, the police are now saying that there's not much they can do about it because, of course, the actual first incident happened 7 years ago, and the offense is a bailable offense. So it looks as though the guy will be bailed. What do you think of the law in this matter, Danny? That something that was caught in this manner can be bailed?
Yeah, my brother, you know, think about everything in Nigeria. Tell me one aspect of Nigeria life where the law works. Tell me where.
Yeah, the thing is, in all these high-profile cases, what they try to do is to use the high-profile cases to send a signal. So you would have thought in this Me Too generation that we're in now, that they'll be using something like this to send a signal to society that, look, this will not be tolerated, and this is the weight of the punitive measure that will be taken if you go in that direction. But if they are telling us that it is a bailable offense now, what says you, Danny?
Yeah, I understand. I kind of agree with you. Yes, they should set an example with him. That way people will be scared to do it. You know, a lot of people will be scared to do it again. You know, but like I said, it's the system. The system doesn't really. I think the people that run the system in Nigeria, I don't think they are very rational people. See, somebody like you that lived outside, or somebody that have lived in America, if the person is running the police department there, they will know what to do.
But surely they know right from wrong. They know right from wrong. No matter what the system, somebody must know that what propriety should be with a 7-year-old child.
Yeah,
I think even in Nigeria they must know that this is wrong.
yes, yeah, yes, I agree. But then why are they handling him the way they're handling him?
It's the law. The law is not structured to facilitate for this. So the laws have to be revisited. Is probably what needs to happen. Because of course, even if they grant that guy bail, the court of public opinion have already found him guilty. Forthright, what says you? A bailable offense, but the court of public opinion are forthright.
Well, like Danny said, this is Nigeria. This is Nigeria where you have a senator who marries a 13-year-old.
They're unbelievable.
So
can we even call that marry? Because I always say he bought that girl. You know, that's just that guy was in his 50s, by the way, and that girl is 14. So how can you say it's that girl's free will to go and marry a 14-year-old? Since when did the 14-year-old girl ever have free will? Never mind going to decide that she wants to marry a 50-something-year-old man.
Well, there you go. Well, and like Danny said, it's a system that's failed the child in every way. The system where the mother thinks that she has to gather evidence rather than leaving it to the authorities to do their job. She knows the authority will not do their job if she just says, if the child just says. In the UK, once the child says, the investigation will kick off straight away. He'll be picked up and investigated. That is not the way in Nigeria. Even with the video that came out, you can imagine the kind of comment you're getting from the people where somebody said, well, the child seemed to be hugging him, so she's not pushing him back.
You know, I couldn't bear to watch that video fully because I was just getting it was upsetting me a little bit so I couldn't really bear to watch it. You know.
One man, how did Punch get hold of the video?
Well, yes. If she's suing now, she must have put. Well, she would have.
Somebody told me that the video was on her Instagram account.
Oh, right.
I don't know how true that is. I'm not a social media person, but if the video is on your social media, and I'm thinking, but that's the question: who gave them? How did Punch get hold of the video? Number one.
I was going to suggest that she released it to the police, and the police released it to the media. But so then, of course, if you are saying she had already posted it on her social media, then there you are. let's hear
Well, I
from
can't
you.
ascertain it. That's what somebody said. I can't. I don't know. I don't know. So, somebody else said it was one of her friends who released it because people were asking for it, and I'm thinking, well, she needs to sue that friend if that's the case, you know. And if Punch newspaper then got hold of the video without also seeking her consent before doing it, then she has the standing. If she did not give them access.
Let me bring you this, and then I'll take who you help, and then we'll go on to another narrative. Let me bring you this. Princess says she did not authorize the release of the CCTV footage of Babaijesha being inappropriate with her foster daughter. So this is what she's saying. Comedian Princess has released a statement through her lawyers saying that she did not authorize the release of the CCTV footage of Babaijesha being inappropriate with her foster daughter. This morning, Punch released the footage which captured the moment Babaijesha was being inappropriate with the foster daughter. So Ibilola Sabir Law Firm is the name of the firm that she's using. We are the solicitors to Princess Damilola Adekoya, comedian, hereinafter referred to as our client, and on whose behalf we issue this notice to the general public. Our client disclaims any liability or responsibility whatsoever that arises from the publication of the video on the internet or any other social media platform showing Olanrewaju James Omiyinka, aka Babaijesha, being inappropriate with our client's foster daughter. Our client did not authorize the release of the CCTV footage by Punch Media or any other persons whatsoever. Our client expressly disclaimed any liability whatsoever for any loss, however, arising from the content of the CCTV footage released to the general public through Punch Media. Ibilola Sabril Esquire. So she has taken to law and to really, because I think it is the backlash, isn't it, that she's getting from making this thing public. Who you help? I see you. What says you this matter? What are you making of it? Who you help?
Yeah, thank you so much. Good afternoon, everyone. Actually, yeah, good. My taking from this saga of Babaijesha and Princess, you know, when this situation came out for the first time, I actually sit down. I sit down and I think, for me as a person that I have two children, I have a girl and a boy, and I don't think our system, our educational system in Nigeria, or parents generally, they have not really tried to do the best to teach the girls' children in Nigeria how to relate with people around them. It's not that these things have not been happening. It's happened. We watched them on the movie when I was young. When I think I was probably a little boy. Many years ago, there is a movie that they say, Omonuoku. I don't know if you know about that movie.
No.
And it's Omonuoku. That movie actually was the same thing that happened in Austria. Yeah, this old guy slept with his own daughter, and the daughter gave birth, but he himself killed the daughter.
His own daughter.
Yeah. He killed the daughter after the daughter gave birth, so the secret will not come out. He killed the daughter, and the boy grows up, and then he tried to kill his own grandson again. So these things happen in Austria. I was in Vienna when Joseph Friso situation happened. I was in Austria then. So we can imagine all these things going on. Like, is there any law in Nigeria to actually put Babaijesha behind bars for the rest of his life? I don't think so. Because
no, what they're actually saying is a bailable offense. Can you imagine?
Yes. Yeah. That's what do you expect them to say when every one of them are?
They are saying the law though. Because I think the police want to hold him if they can.
No, police does not have the power to hold him. The point is this: is that you have to know who draft those laws. They are also these people are criminals.
Yes.
They are child molesters. Most of them are child molesters. They molest children. Most of those who made the law. Do you know, if we started to dig out, now we are talking about Babaijesha, but if we go around Nigeria and listen to people, you will find out like 80% of young girls are going through the same stuff.
Yes. Somebody was saying all these girls that you see on Allen Avenue, if you sit them down and dig their history, what led them to the streets to be selling their body is actually this sort of experience. So they've had this experience at a very young age, and there's been no protection for them. So they've seen it as a normal, and they're inured to it, and they just say, okay, if that is my life, then let me take a commercial advantage of it. Isaac, I see you. What says you, Isaac? Isaac?
Good morning. Good afternoon.
Yes, good afternoon, Isaac.
Yes. Anyway, I just started following you anyway. But if we look at what is going on based on Babaijesha and
Ijesa. Because I say Babaijesha, so it's Babaijesha this time.
Or Babaijesha or whatever. As everybody said, there is no law in Nigeria that really can send somebody really clamp down on anybody who does something like that. Like Fortright said, if a senator can marry 12 years old, so what do you think they are going to do? So the law is not going to come anytime soon. I'm sorry to say it is not going to come anytime soon, because these people, in as much that we have majority of the house in the north, from the north, and it is part of their doctrine or part of their ideology to marry underage girl like 12, even sometimes 10. So how do you think they are going to pass law to clamp down on somebody who's molesting a young child or rape? They are not going to do that. And of course, what Babaijesha did, it is quite wrong. And here we live in abroad, we see what is going on around here. A lot of things wrong in Nigeria. A lot of things wrong, because even kids here, they start teaching them how to relate to how to relate to people, and what they should do if they are seen the issue. They start teaching
stranger
them,
danger. They call it stranger danger.
So they start teaching them all kind of things, how to report a case, or if something like this happens, this is what you have to do. All those things they teach them at school. They even teach them the issue of where they start having their period. They will tell them, okay, this is what you have to do, this is what you have to do, this is what you have to do, this is what you cannot do. But in Nigeria, all those things, if we are telling them, they will say, what kind of nonsense is that?
But Isaac, off the back of this now moment, are we now going to be using this moment to recalibrate the relationship that our children have with their non-biological adults? You know, that uncle, that auntie that will pick them up and hold them. Just how free we are to hand. Because of course, when people say baby, they immediately reach out and they want to carry. So is it now time that we started exploring that area as a society to say that this might not be appropriate, and everybody has that understanding then that you can't just reach to anybody's child and just hold them in whatever manner?
You are right, it is true, but let me explain something to you, right? They believe it is part of our culture. You must know. But we here that we are outside, it is we understand what is going on. And for that to be working, we have to start educating our people.
Yes. So should we not use this moment then to start that?
Yeah.
You then Forthright, then Danny, and then we're going to another. Although I'll bring Osamuyi in first. So you then Osamuyi. Yeah. So
yeah,
address that.
It is important to start educating our people about this, so that we know that okay, what we have been doing for this long, for long time, it is not ideal, because like me, I cannot allow any brother or sister to hug my I mean, let's say my brother to cuddle with my daughter, or one uncle or cousin. No, I will not tolerate that. They can even touch them.
You know, of course, that will lead to a fight. Yeah, that Kwekilofema saw another. You know, that will lead to a fight, especially in that church environment. I don't know if you go to church, but as soon as you come with some child in a church, everybody's keen up to carry and hug and hold. You know, in fact, as soon as you go through the door, they grab the child off you and start passing it around, or passing him or her around.
That is true. That is why I'm saying we need to be educating our people. Then they will be able to understand how I mean, what is going on in over here, because they believe that it's part of the culture.
Okay. To Forthright, so what Isaac is suggesting is that this could be like a teachable moment. So this might well be a teaching moment. What says you to take the positive out of this situation and use it as a teachable moment? Forthright.
Yes, I think that I think is probably what Princess had wanted to do when she did what she did. But like I said, when she then made herself public is when she made it a different matter, because the focus now shifted from the perpetrator to her. So that's what we need to be careful. We can't over-educate our children. And this is a thing. We are talking about Nigeria. Yes, Nigeria has a long way to go. 20 years from now, UK itself was dealing big time with this. And they're having to review their processes and strategies and law all the time. So it took them a while to get to where they are today.
So are this not then the first steps? Then is this not then the time to be taking those first steps?
This is a thing. We talked about the biological parent. Why was it that biological parent gave up their children to Princess in the first place?
No, it could be for whatever reason. You know what's the environment?
She said poverty. That's what she said. They couldn't take care of their children. In the UK, the parents don't have that excuse. The children are provided for. There's free education, free healthcare, and if the parents then even get some monies. In a situation where, as a matter of fact, there was a situation where a 12-year-old illegal immigrant father, so he was just the father and the 12-year-old daughter in the country, and the school now found out that the girl was sharing a room with the father. You understand? So once the school found out about that, they took it up. So they didn't say, oh, because he's an illegal immigrant. No, their first priority was to protect the child. So they now had to move them into a 2-bedroom apartment. So it is a system that you can't just talk about dealing with the symptoms. It's like dealing with the symptom. We are talking about making criminals of these people. But what strategies have you put in place to make sure?
No, not so much.
No, this is what I'm saying. If the society itself, if there's no progression in the system, people don't have employment, there's no healthcare system in such a way that children lose their fathers.
Yes, no, those are the wider issues.
That is the thing. Those are the root cause. What I wanted
to focus on is using this unfortunate situation as a teachable moment to then make a public awareness sort of outcry within the media space that the way that we interact with other people's children and the way that we let other people interact with our children is something that we need to revisit and recalibrate. So that is the teachable moments that I was looking to speak to.
Yes, you can do that, but unfortunately, pedophiles will be pedophiles in situations where you have poverty. Children are going to continuously being exposed.
Okay. To Danny, that same question. To using this as a teachable moment to try and recalibrate our orientation as a society to say that this is now not the way, that we consider behavior to be. So a teachable moment to take the positive out of it. Danny, are you still there, Danny? Danny?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I can hear you now, yeah.
Well, my brother, do you know there's a lot of stuff is connected to this particular issue that a lot of us can learn from. Do you know, I live in America. I'm not saying America is a perfect place, but what happens here, you can't just give your child to somebody else. It doesn't work that way. You turn your child, if you want to give up your child, you turn it to state agency. Then the state agency would take care of the girl. So the state agency will be monitoring what happens to the girl. If something like this will ever happen to that girl, whoever was involved will go to jail. You see, you guys said that we don't know who turned it over to put that stuff over to Instagram, right? Do you know whether is the newspaper or is the lady that is in charge of the girl?
Or even the police, yeah.
Even police, both of them, everybody, any person that put the picture of that young girl to the public space like that person would be in trouble. It doesn't matter who. The police chief that did that will be fired. They may even go to jail. So yeah, see, there is a lot of stuff. See, all this technology, they come from mostly America. America has laws. When there's a technology, America has laws that protect people from the technology, right? But see, we take all this stuff, we don't have the adequate laws to protect human beings from the technology. Why are we talking about this? Because it was caught on videotape, right? Do we have any law about that? No. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, there are laws here about what you can capture in video and what you can do with it. So we're very, very behind. Yes, it's a teachable moment, but we're very behind. Where do you start? You start from the law, you start from the knowledge people have about all this.
Yeah, but we have to start something. So this something has to come out of this. We have to start something off the back of this to head in a direction. Let us take who you help, then I'll go on to the next story. Who you help?
I think
Is
actually,
it a teachable moment? Yeah.
The first thing is this. It's a teachable moment, that's true. But the first thing is this. What is the senator of Nigerians are doing? The House legislature, what are they doing? That's where the whole problem lies on. When you don't provide citizens with a law that can govern this kind of act, this kind of evil act, there is no law that they say, okay, under this section, if you commit this kind of atrocity, you are going in for this period to this period. We don't have that. Nobody ever quotes, since we have been talking about Babaijesha is going to jail, nobody ever quotes those laws that, oh, this is the case that we have tried many years ago, 10 years ago, 5 years ago. We never have those laws. So the Senate in Nigeria, I think they are the part of the problem of all these things. That's why you see people committing crime every day and they get away with it. So, and also it's a moment to learn. How do we learn from this? Is by educating the parents. For example, the two things I really want for us to focus on is this. We talk about the mother of the child. That is true. But what about the father? Where is the dad? People keep saying, where is the mother? Where is the mother? Where is the father?
Thank you.
Is he on the day she wants to get married that the father will come, or they want to come and collect bride price? Where is the dad? Why can't we be seeing the father on the
But
TV?
you know the Yoruba setting now, father to many. Some of these guys, they just go around dropping children with women all over the place and then they move on to the next port of call.
I will say this actually. There is a saying that Malcolm X say. He say, not by producing a child make you a father. You being the sperm donor does not make you a father. A father is the person that put food on the table for the child. That's who is a father. And then when we are having child everywhere, all over the street of Nigeria, and then people keep saying, "Oh, where is the mother? Where is the mother? Where is the father?"
But also in Yoruba, in the Yoruba section, they say the wayward child belongs to the mother, and the good child belongs to the father. Yes.
And then the wayward, you will see in our society a prostitute young girl who become a prostitute, maybe along the way when she was a prostitute or when she was misbehaving, going from 10 men to 20 men, is the mother's daughter. So one day he came home with the son of the governor. Oh, he now become the father's daughter.
Of course.
So this is the problem in our society. We should go back to our roots and start to educate everybody from the village, primary school to secondary school to our university. So it's not just a problem of Babaijesha or the princess. Because one thing is this. This princess said the girl actually was molested 7 years when she was 7.
By this same man.
By this same man. And then it took them. Look at the problem. Look at where the problem started from. Princess did not detect what was wrong with the child.
Because of course, when that child was molested at 7, the innocence is gone from that moment. That is no longer an innocent child because she has now been introduced to a world.
Yeah, I'm not talking about the child now. I'm talking about Princess, the mother, the adopted mother. So, and then one of those, the story is just Twinkle, and people don't really pay attention to the story. The story was Twinkle, how Princess become a good friend of Babaijesha, how Babaijesha come into the home. That belongs to 2 of them. But the point is this: Princess did not know what happened to the child until the child began to have a problem at school. So the school now started to inform the mother about what was going on. The grade was bad and everything was bad. But yet, what did they started on? They didn't sit the child down and talk to her about her problem. They now started to go and pray for Orioke. They fast and pray. Go Orioke, go mountain of fire, go every mountain. And yet, they have not gone to psychology or a therapist to see what is the problem of this child, or even visit doctor and to test what is the problem. They didn't do that. They were praying, and those prayer, can you imagine this? They are the people that is going to prayer that see vision for them. They didn't see the vision that the child has a problem. They pray for 7 years, for 7 good years. So these people are really crazy. A lot of them in that family,
but that
is
the society, though. That is the society. It's not. I mean, we're saying it's not like they are unique in any way. Even if somebody coughs the wrong way, especially within the southern region, they will call pastor immediately and say, "Pastor, this coughing is coughed 3 times." And the pastor will then say that it is somebody that has nailed something on the tree in your ancestral home, and if somebody is your mom's rival, is your dad's enemy, and we have to do fasting and praying, and you have to bring 10,000 naira. This is what we do.
Yeah,
I agree with that.
Yeah. Can I say about the law that's been talking about? Yes, the first step is to have the law to protect the child and all that. But if we don't educate the people about the law and the reason behind it, the law is going to fail still. If you remember, there was a time in the UK when there was this whole campaign in the media where there was instances of young girls being raped, and the young men were claiming that she didn't say no, or she said no, but they thought she was playing hard to get. So there had to be a whole campaign about if she says no, it means no. As a matter of fact, if she puts her hand,
no means no,
pushes you, that means she's saying no. If she's under the influence of alcohol, she's not consenting. So you'll be charged for rape. So there had to be a public awareness program.
Please put on the light. Sorry.
Do you know that? Do you know that in America there was a guy? There was a guy that was taken to court and to jail because his wife said no, and he forced himself into his own wife.
But that is another position. Can you
Absolutely.
can you forcefully? I'm just trying to be mindful of the language. So if I say forcefully partake, then you understand what I mean. Can you forcefully partake with your wife? You know, is the question. Can you RAPE your wife? Is that such a thing? Because of course you are already in a legally.
What happened? The woman said that she was not aware. She was sleeping, and he sneaked in. So when she woke up, she was mad, and
he was jailed for having sex with his own wife.
Yes.
You see. So there's a lot of ambiguity in law and morality in terms of that area, because of course what Forthright was describing, that no means no. So they're saying no up to the point of penetration, and even if penetration takes place and the girl then changes her mind in the throes of penetration, that still constitutes forceful taking advantage of her, so it's a funny one. But then of course no must always mean no. But let's go on to a next narrative, because we could
Sorry,
this
can
forever.
I just say something about what Danny just said?
Let me say something quick. Sorry.
Yeah, go on.
You see, what happened is, if you have lived outside Nigeria, I mean, you gotta understand, people that live in Nigeria, they do all kinds of stuff. We don't have what is called, what I call that, we don't respect human dignity. We don't have laws about human rights. Do you understand what I'm saying? There is a concept in the West that every human being has rights. You don't just do whatever you want to do to them. We don't have that concept yet in our culture. That's what I wanted to say.
Oh, okay, thank you, Danny. Just to make it to buttress on that, what it means is the woman has sovereignty of her own body. In the case that Danny was just talking about, they didn't have a good relationship, and she had been saying no. So she had a medical condition where she was under some heavy medication.
Are you aware of the case? You're aware of the case?
Yeah, I'm familiar with
the case. It's a famous case.
So she was under heavy medication. So he took advantage, knowing that she's not going to stare. She's like unconscious at that point. So he was aware that she was not in agreement with it. That was the situation. So the relationship wasn't great. So he was just taking advantage of the fact that she was under medication. It's the same thing as she's intoxicated.
Yes.
See, that goes to the concept of human dignity and the human right. The right to the woman. You can't just go and take it because she's out of her mind. You can't do that. Even if she's crazy, she still got right. You see what I'm saying?
Oh, okay. Let's leave it there because I want to round off in the next 10-15 minutes. You are happy to stay if you're if you're willing to stay. Well, let me go on to this next narrative and then take your samplings on it. This goes to celebrity world. So this is a moral maze that people are walking through within the Nigerian space. A woman that has money without a man by her side is worth nothing. Actress Uche Ebere shades Toke Makinwa after she tweeted about craving love. So Toke Makinwa, she of course is never shy about sharing details of her life, and what she has been focusing on in recent times is a need for a relationship. But then of course she has a lot of money, and then of course that changes the demography of where she's able to shop for a man. And this is the difficulty that she's having. But then this actress, of course, now is throwing shade, as they put it, in her direction. Actress, a woman that has money without a man by her side as husband is worth nothing. Actress Uche Ebere shades Toke Makinwa after she tweeted about her craving love. So let's see how that shading took place. Actress Uche Ebere has shared her 2 cents in response to Toke Makinwa's post that she's craving love. Toke Makinwa took to Twitter to write, "Love is hungry me, oh," and then of course in response, Nollywood actress then replied to a post about Toke's tweet by shading women who say they don't need a man, only to later start looking for love when they are older. She wrote, "I don't need a man, I can be without a man. What a man can do, a woman can do better. Husband is not an achievement, blah, 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 blah. Ositigo deceiving young girls, but when they reach a certain age, they will now realize that a man is very important in a woman's life, just like a woman is important in a man's life. See, money is not enough. A woman that has money without a man by her side as a husband is worth nothing to important matters. The earlier our young girls know this, the better." So this is the position that this woman is taking. I will always say the bitter truth. Hate me for that, now your loss. Love me for that, now your gain, because you will learn and know more good things of life from me. So I'll come to you, Forthright, if you're still there to take that turn. What do you make of that? A woman, no matter how successful she is, if she doesn't have that husband and has created that family, she actually has nothing.
You're talking to Forthright. I'm an independent woman, so I don't believe that a woman's happiness, fulfillment, or satisfaction has got to be based on attachment to a man. Even the Bible says that marriage is not for everyone. Not everyone would fit the status quo. Okay, so and everybody can say whatever they want to say. All right.
What about public perception? Because of course we don't live in isolation.
That's their business. I'm living my life. I don't need to answer to anybody. Go ahead and be attached to a man and then cry every day and complain every day. And then
do you think Forthright, do you think society defines the woman by virtue of a relationship with a man, and indeed a man by virtue of relationship with a woman? Because of course, when you start to reach a certain age, then societally, especially within our society, societally, that there's the expectation that you should have that +1, as they're saying. And we talk about Makinde now, a billionaire, saying that the gap that is missing in her life is not having a man by her side. Something, of course, that maybe not herself, but people of her ilk will say that, no, I'm a career woman, this, that, and the other. And then they get to that age, and then suddenly they notice that gap or that missing bit.
Look,
Forthright, yeah.
If any woman thinks she definitely needs a woman, she can go on and pursue that. But any woman who is confident and secure in herself does not need to listen to anybody. She should live her life and enjoy every bit of it. People are going to throw shades. It is one of the worst crimes that the church commits. The church is a big one that really does this. And I stand my ground. I don't care what you say. I'm happy in my skin. I don't care about what people say.
Okay, let's hear what Who You Help has to say, because I think he has opinions on this. Who You Help?
Yes, I have opinion. Okay, I'm a divorcee. You don't know that I'm a divorcee. Actually, I'm at my ex-house now with my kids. The point is this, is that we keep pushing this narrative of Bible say thou shalt not divorce, Bible say this, Bible say that. And we have seen all the narrative. It's not just in Nigeria alone. All over the world, the so-called Christian society, Christian religion, how they are flopped with their teachings. The teaching, what they are teaching us is a flop. They have branded the Bible, and then they bring one, just 2 sentences to tell us what is not right. But when you started from behind of the first chapter, where they are telling people what is not right, and then you read it to where before they started to tell you the story, you realize, what the hell are they saying? Because Every one of them, they are just there to deceive people to make more money. We saw look at all over Nigeria. Every street you go to is pastor street. All of them, there are churches like 10 in 100 meters. You find 5 churches, 10 churches, and yet our problem increase every day. And then they will tell you, oh, where the grace in this, where there is enough sin, there is enough grace. But the point is this.
But do you think a woman can live? Do you think a woman can live the entirety of her life without a man?
Why do you have none? Why do you have none? Why do you have Pope and all these?
Yeah, but that is a commitment, though. That is a commitment, though.
Yes,
that's an exception. That's an exception.
Yes. If she can stay committed to her wish, let her have it. But another problem is this: is when
does she have children? Even I don't know. Yeah, go on.
Me?
I'll just check if she has children. Yeah.
Okay,
no,
I don't know.
I
don't know of Toke Makinde, but my point is this: if someone can, the hypocrite of all these things is this. You see these so-called crazy and crazy celebrity. I don't know why we are even talking about them, because they are not relevant to anything in our society. They are just full of themselves. If a celebrity is come like five years ago and telling the whole world, I don't need men, I don't need this, and if 2 years later she said, oh, I'm crazy for love, let her fuck herself and go to her bathroom and keep quiet there. I don't want to hear her voice anymore.
I've just checked some data. She's 35 years old and she's unmarried and yet to start a family. So, Danny, where do you stand in this? What data Uche Ebere, whether she's throwing shade or not, it doesn't really matter. But what she's saying, that a woman cannot claim any form of success, even if she's richer than the Saudi family. She cannot claim any form of success without having a man by her side.
Well, this is a very touchy issue. What's her name? Forrat started by introducing Bible, but I will get to that in a minute. Listen, anybody can do whatever they want. If she doesn't want to get married, that's fine. But if you actually look at the data, right? See, this stuff now is tied up to that the fate of that girl that was raped. If you look at the data, that will tell you, scientific data will tell you, people that are married and stay together, their kids tend to do better than people that are not married. You understand? So you don't have to get married.
Just to add this, hold on, Danny. Just to add this to the mix, she's a highly successful person. I think she actually drives a Rolls Royce on the streets of Nigeria, amongst many fleet of cars that she has. Because I've seen her on that Mr. Macaroni something. So very beautiful woman as well. She's 35 years old. She has no children yet. And of course, the biological time is ticking. And now she's suddenly reaching out to the public space to alarm at her situation. So what this Uche Ibere is saying is that not pointing directly at Toke Makinwa, but pointing generally to that space that certain types of women that they start off life claiming that they are career women, lambasting men, that men are evil, men are this and that and the other, and they gather a lot of following. But then when they start to reach that age, this woman is 35, then suddenly the pressure of life, because of course, when at the age of 35, you can assume that a good 80% of our friends are married, in a relationship with 2-3 children running around them, and she's auntie to everybody, and she wants to be a mommy. So this is really what sets the tone, Danny.
Yeah. See what happened, my brother. Sometimes when we discuss about this stuff, just look inward, look at yourself, right? We are human beings. I can sit here in my house, and nobody's here with me, and I have everything. I have Rolls Royce. I have 20 Rolls Royce, 20 Mercedes. And so what? I still come in my house. My biological stuff is gonna be going on. I need some company. Do you understand what I'm saying? We can do all that theory, but listen. But in practice, it doesn't work. I have 3 kids. In fact, I have 3 girls, and they're all college educated. They still call me. They're making good money, But when they have problems, they still call me. And they still call their mother, will come in and help them solve the problem. Do you understand? They're not living out there as an island, So human connection is important for your happiness. Somebody can talk all they want, but it's up to them. They want to stay single, independent woman. That's their problem. It's not my problem. But from my experience, having connection to another human being inside your home is important for your overall happiness, over your overall well-being. Do you understand what I'm saying? That's my opinion, you know. So based on my
Okay,
experience.
can you give us your closing remarks on just the conversation as well as I seek to round off, Danny?
Okay, let me go ahead. See, look at the kid. Look at that kid who was started with. Somebody raped her. Do you think if that kid was with her parents, mother and father, that stuff would have happened to her? So I mean,
Yes.
you gotta look at the totality of everything about human existence. Material things are just not, they don't define me. But I can buy Rolls Royce tomorrow, but I don't want it. Do you understand? So it depends on how you look at stuff, how you look at life. Even the Bible, God created what Adam first, and Adam wasn't happy. Adam said, "I need a company." And then God said, "Okay, I will give you a woman." So anybody that's talking that you're fighting with God, you're not fighting with me. You see what I'm saying? But I leave it there, man.
Okay, thank you. Danny, we're on for 10:30 as usual. So come, that is a lot longer and more involved than it's usually politics. So that is Danny adding his voice to the moral maze that is the Nigerian space. Gaki, I see you, and I'll come to you in a moment. But let me, oh, he's gone. Okay, so Isaac, just your closing remarks and taking up our token marking day as part of that.
Okay, I think it is based on the about what you just read. Well, it is very difficult for somebody who is so affluent in Nigeria to really get those somebody that they really want, because they will be, people will be looking at them as this one will be too proud. And this one will be the person that will be feeding me. So you know how men stay. So there's no man really want to go to that. So
she has priced herself out of the market.
Exactly. So and like the person who just left now said, it is very difficult for either man or woman to be living alone. It is not something that is so easy. You can have millions of dollars, you can have millions of naira. If you don't have anybody in beside you to enjoy that money, you will be even so frustrated more than poor person, because you have to balance it. you cannot just in your house and you're walking up and down, nobody to talk to, and even that one is a depression on its own. So it is good if you have somebody beside you that you can just share experience. And as a matter of fact, when you have somebody beside you, like you have your wife or your girlfriend or your husband or your boyfriend, you will feel comfortable. If anything happens, you will be able to relate to them. If you are having a problem or you sick upstairs, you can just explain to that person, and I tell you, you will be okay.
Yes. Thank you, Isaac. Will you convene this evening if you are free? Isaac, a regular, of course. Anybody that even spends a moment with this channel, they know Isaac. Isaac, thank you. Before I come to who you help, I'll take Bidemi, because he or she has just joined us. So Bidemi, just introduce yourself and just tell us what you have to say regarding the conversation, because we're looking to round off. So just a quick word from you. Bidemi.
Oh, I'm sorry. Good evening.
Yeah, how are you?
I'm fine. I'm Abidemi. I'm a student here actually, but I found the conversation interesting. That's why I decided to join.
Okay. What says you?
What did you say?
Yeah, what says you? The floor is yours. Have your say.
I have some say, but actually they've said so many of it, so I don't think I have much to say.
Yeah, sum up what you have to say anyway, because we're looking to round off. So did you have anything in particular that you wanted to contribute?
Yeah, what I would say is that I think one of the people that were talking in the stream, they were like, there are nuns and there are pastors in the case of marriage. So they said marriage is not for everyone. Yeah, we know that, but as a matter of fact, the woman that shaded Toke Makinwa, I will say she is right in one way. Like, it's not that it's right for her to shade Foke Makiwa, but we should take it with a positive, in a positive manner. She's trying to tell us that we shouldn't follow whatever these people are saying on social media. With those that are just coming up that have never been married, like, they should know that you need a man. Like, you don't have to, like, they don't have to be a man in your life directly for you to be successful. You can be successful without a man in your life. But if you have a good man in your life, it will help you a lot than being single and independent. So the woman that is talking, that is saying that you need a man, no matter how successful you are, you still need a man. In one way, I think she's right, like not 100% right. In one way, in some aspect, if we look at it very well, she's right in some aspect. If you have a good man in your life,
in percentage. Put that in percentage terms. How right is she in percentage?
Like, to me, I would say, that's why I said good man. Like, I would say it's like 80%. Like, she's really right if you have a good man in your life.
Okay.
She's really right in that aspect. You are like, you will be happy even as a woman that is a career woman. It will help you a lot than being single, than without having a man in your life. Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Bidemi. We were looking to round off, but it was good to hear your voice, and hopefully we hear it again. Who you help? What says you? Just closing remarks.
You know, before Mr. Isaac spoke, there is another gentleman that spoke before him. I just want to make some. Yeah, Danny. I just want to say something about that. The point is this: is that when we are talking about getting married and divorce and then all these things, he said if there is both parents in the same house, those things cannot happen. Let's bring a famous one from Austria, Joseph Friso. Joseph Friso actually adopted his own daughter, put it in the cellar. This is the point. I have to explain everything. I'm sorry that I will take at least few minutes from you. The point is this: before Joseph Friso already planned this thing ahead of time. He was an engineer. He planned this ahead of time. He told the local government in his district that he's thinking about, like, if there is atomic bomb agent in the society, he's building a bunker where he can hide. So he built that place under his house. Then when he declared that the daughter got missing, he took the daughter there. For how many years he raped his own daughter? The wife did not know. He didn't buy the food stuff that he's using to feed his own daughter in Austria. He went to Slovakia, which they have a border in their environment. He went to Bratislava, the capital city of Slovakia. He bought all the food from there. So now he has how many kids? 6 kids with this lady, with his own daughter. He has 6 kids. So nobody should tell me that if both parents live the same house, that these things cannot happen. We have seen it many times.
Saying, I don't think it means it will never happen, but I think what he's saying is that the chances are that much more reduced.
Oh, those chances are even more. Let's put it this way: those chances are even more worse than single parents. I can bet you. We should go and look the ratio, because do you know how those chances are more worse? Because everybody in the society is more trusted. Oh, Egbon Mini, Aburo Mini, Uncle Eni. He's not their uncle. They call him uncle at least in one way or the other. Your friend from school, your son call them uncle, and they come to your house. Go and sit down. Come here. And then the daughter, he came back. The daughter is on the lap. So these things happen. But the point is this: we should not be saying because somebody is not married, that's why this happened to them. No, that's not true. You get married, you don't get married, everything happens. And then if you look into our society today, you saw, can we explain a lot of things, how we actually have to educate our people? Because we have been dumbfounded by the teaching of the churches that if you don't get married, you are not complete. Marriage is not a certificate to heaven.
Okay.
You should know that.
All right.
If you are not in a good will. Yeah.
Thank you, who you help. Always a voice that we like to hear. So, who you help, enjoy your time with your family over there, and we'll see you soon. So, Fortright, you're up next. They'll just give us just round it off for us. Fortright.
Yeah. First and foremost, you need to be comfortable with yourself. Know who you are, and know what your thresholds are. Okay. Secondly, as I said, I've worked with children for a long time. I've had children whose parents live across the street from themselves. They're married, but they don't live in the same house. They purposely, okay, hello. Sorry, my son just came in. They purposely bought houses on the same street. They can't live together in the same house, but they understand their children is very important. So they have chosen to co-parent in the best way that they can. Okay. And another thing is, single parents are the most protective parents of all time, because they know that the society will stigmatize them. The society will stigmatize their children. And so they're always wanting their children to come out the best, so that nobody can say to them, oh, if only you were married, your children wouldn't have failed. Or if only these children had their father, a role model, they wouldn't have turned out this way. And then do you know how many of my friends have told me that they don't even understand why their own mother stayed with their own father? Because their father was abusive to their mother. And then now that they're grown up, they ask their mother, why did you stay with my father? And the mother will say, oh, it's because of you. And they're thinking, this woman is foolish. How could you have sacrificed your life, lived a sad life, and endured marriage? For what? And this person said something to me. One particular person actually said this. He said, my mother has traumatized me as a child because she stayed with my father. So people can't determine how people should live their lives. What we need is a support system.
Oh, okay.
That's it. So let me not take more of your time.
Thank you for trying.
If a celebrity is coming on social media to talk about their lives, please, they're wasting their time. They're wasting our time. They should just go and sort themselves out with a therapist.
All right. Thank you, Forthright. Forthright by name, Forthright by nature. Somebody was actually pointing out in the comment section that this Toke Makinde was actually previously married. So she's actually a divorcee. So that I did not know, but now I do. I did promise another story on Bobrisky. So I'm just going to read that story out and just leave it there because the time has long gone past. I only wanted to contain it within an hour. So this is Bobrisky. Fear of being exposed has made me not have a PA, Bobrisky. So why Bobrisky would need a PA is quite unknown to me, because I don't know what industry he or she is. I don't even know what adjective applies here, he or she. But however, he or she has come out into the public space to alarm. Fear of being exposed has made me not have a PA. Headline attributed to Bobrisky. So let's find out exactly what this is all about. Cross-dresser Bobrisky has revealed that the fear of being exposed has made him not have a personal assistant. Bobrisky, who wasn't explicit in what was getting exposed for in the Instagram post he shared, stated that he doesn't want a snitch. He also revealed that he has been the one handling his DM since he became famous because he wants to keep conversations with people private. So this is what he wrote. He wrote, have been looking for a PA since last year, but I don't want a snitch in my life. Over 3 years of my fame, you all haven't heard anything about me because I am so discreet and private when it comes to relating with people. I only post what I want people to know. Have been the one handling my DM myself since 3 years now, because I want to keep my conversation with people in my DM private. It's just crazy how you can't trust no one again. So this is what Bobrisky has to say. So quite that sounds like an advert to me, actually, because it's he or she is advertising their discretion and inviting people to come and partake in that discretion, whatever industry he or she is in and whatever he or she feels that he or she is selling. So you don't even know the adjective of address, never mind getting into the mindset to see what is at play. But that is the Bobrisky narrative that was advertised, and of course that has now been presented. So we've gone through a myriad of topics. We started off with the big boobed bridesmaid that was flaunting herself at her friend's wedding, and then we went to the Babaijesha narrative, and people were quite decisive in their opinions. And then, of course, the moral maze that is Toke Makinde, Makinwa, age 35, single, and suddenly then realizing that there's a gap missing in her life. So, and then we landed with the Bobrisky narrative, who feels now that he or she is in need of assistance to handle their fame, but of course not wanting a snitch. So that has been the session. It's gone longer than I had planned. So I'll leave it there. Carry the conversation within the comment section, but here I say peace.